Campbell just finished on HBO Boxing, and finishes off what was a great weekend for boxing, just a great weekend for boxing. And this finished it off with another good fight and a close fight, much like I expected. You saw the video I did yesterday, and let me see if I can get the chat up real quick. I think I figured out a way to rig this to where I could actually see the chat while I'm doing a video. Let's see. Nope, haven't figured it out. So hopefully I can catch y'all's comments in the archive if I can't get this going here. But much like I expected, I dropped the video, was it yesterday or Thursday, saying that I expected a close fight. Luke Campbell is a tougher fighter, better fighter than people were expecting, was coming on strong with 5 straight victories. And I felt Linares, like always, is overvalued fighter. People still, for whatever reason, and you saw HBO doing it again tonight, just wanting badly to put him in their pound-for-pound rankings. They just want badly to do it. But much like Luke Campbell, Jorge Linares. And before I get to that, let me say this. I had Luke Campbell winning the fight 114, 113. But I have no problem with the scorecards because I felt like it was a close fight with several close rounds and competitive rounds throughout the fight, especially in the middle rounds. But I just felt like Luke Campbell was the more consistent fighter, was the more effective fighter. Linares, man, it just bothers me. He gets credit for so much flashy shit that ultimately doesn't do much. He was doing a lot of Ali shuffling and evading punches, but Campbell was catching him with a lot of shots. That's the thing. Campbell was catching him with a lot of shots. And here's the thing about Linares that's weird too. There's a lot of things that are weird about him. One of them is he'll look invincible at times. He'll look great. He'll look like a pound-for-pound champion at times, like in the second round. But then he'll disappear. And you saw it. He's one of the another thing that's weird, and I mentioned it in the preview video that I did. He's a weird counterpuncher in that generally counterpunchers love fighting combination punchers. There's just more for them to counter. Linares isn't that way. Linares loves countering 1 or 2 shots, but when you throw combinations against him, he sort of locks up, and you saw it again tonight. Campbell was putting combinations together well. It was actually outclassing Linares in spots throughout the middle rounds. And that's the thing. Like Linares, he's flashy when he lets his hands go. And I think that steals rounds for him. And I think that happened in the middle rounds. I just felt like Campbell, after that 3rd round, from the 4th round to like the 9th or 10th, he was winning those rounds. He was winning. I felt he took over the middle rounds, took over the fight in the middle rounds. The rounds were competitive, don't get me wrong, but I just felt like Campbell's consistency, his punch output, he was just doing better work. But Linares, like I said, those 30-second flashes that he does, those 30-second spots that he fights in are flashy. So to judges, I think that steals some rounds, and that's why you saw, I think, Linares get some credit and get the benefit of the doubt. And especially being the champion, you get the benefit of the doubt in some of those close rounds. And that's why I have no issue with the scorecards, because they were all close. It's not one of those 118, 110 things. I could see if you gave 1 or 2 rounds in those middle rounds to Linares, and that flips the scorecard from what I had, 114, 113 for Campbell, to 115, 112 to Linares. So I have no issue with that, with the scorecards. I think they did a good job all around with the scorecards. But Campbell just showed a lot of heart. He showed that he's a good boxer as well. That was a brutal shot that he caught in that 2nd round. He bounced back up, survived. He waited in the water for that 3rd round, survived. And then 4th round, I felt he won the 1st round, 4th round, and 5th round, and I had it even through 5 rounds. And then 6 through 9, he did good work too, 6 through 10. And then Linares showed his experience in 11 and 12 in the championship rounds. The experience showed he stepped up his output in 11 and 12 and won those championship rounds on my card anyway, and probably on all 3 judges' scorecards. And that was the difference in the fight. I'm pretty sure if you look at the 3 judges' scorecards, I haven't yet, he won 11 and 12. And if you look at how close the judges' scorecards were, that was the difference. He stepped it up. He instinctively knew he needed those 2 championship rounds. Um, and I don't think it was Campbell's inexperience in a big fight. I just think it was more Linares. You got to give Linares credit. He stepped it up, and when he put it in that extra gear, he was just a little too much for Campbell in those last 2 rounds, and that was the difference in the fight. He won the championship rounds like a champion does, and edged it out on the scorecards. But on my card, it was too little, too late. You know, I think he needed 1 more round to win the fight. It was just Campbell, his consistency. Like I said, he just did really good work in the middle rounds. Showed that he belongs. He showed that he belongs. And to me, I'm more interested in where Campbell goes from here. I was impressed with him tonight. You know, I thought this would be a sneaky fight, as I said in the preview fight, because people were just sleeping on Campbell. People were sleeping on him. A lot of American fight fans didn't know much about him. Like I said, I think people are still too high on Linares. Like I said, it's just weird with Linares. It's weird. He has those moments, those spots where, oh yeah, he's great, and then he just disappears, and just too much flash and not enough substance for me, for him to be a top fighter. Like, he's calling out Mikey Garcia after the fight. You know, the reason I'm more interested in Campbell is we've already seen what happens to Linares when he steps up at that top elite level, like he's going to do if he fights Mikey Garcia or Lomachenko. I already know how that movie ends. They're going to catch him. Like a Mikey Garcia, he's too technical, and he can match Linares' technical ability. But not only that, he's just more consistent. He's a more consistent fighter, and he'll catch Linares with something big. He has more power in his shots. That's one of the things that Campbell was lacking tonight. He was landing a lot on Linares and was doing good work to the body as well. I was impressed with that, jabbing to the body, finishing off shots with the body, to the body as well. And the only thing he was missing to turn this fight was landing that big shot. And that's because he has enough power to keep you honest, enough pop to keep you honest, but not enough pop to turn a fight on a dime against the Linares, because Linares has a weak chin, scars up. I thought headbutts would be more of an impact in this fight. It wasn't. Both guys did good work. It wasn't sloppy. And you know, he just didn't have that big shot to turn this fight. But however, I felt he did enough on the cards. I had him winning by 1 point. I thought he was slightly the better fighter tonight. Just more consistent. Just more consistent. Did good work. If you look at the, you know, CompuBox can be flawed, but I do believe he landed more shots tonight. Linares landed the flashier shots, which I think was the difference here with the judges. In some of the unofficial scorecards, but Campbell fought at the same pace through 10 rounds, fought with the same strategy, and was just not, even in the second and third round, after those 2 tough rounds for him, he was not deterred. He was not deterred. Went right back to the game plan, did not fear Linares at all, was not hurt by anything Linares did after that second and third round, and just fought his fight. Used the jab well in spots, uses his height well, but also will get in there. Decent inside fighter as well. Decent, good footwork, can move laterally, athletic fighter. I like what I saw from Campbell tonight. I liked what I saw coming in, coming back 5 straight victories after the tough loss in 2015. This guy's a good fighter, man. He's legit. So I'm interested in seeing where what he does at 135. I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch. I don't think we're going to get that. I think Mikey Garcia, if he's smart, he jumps at Linares' challenge. If I'm Mikey Garcia, I jump at that fight. Just Linares is right, just right for Garcia to look great against. He's just right. Like I said, Linares is just too much flash for me and not enough substance. It's just, I can't think of too many fighters out there who just get as much credit as Linares gets for the flash. And like, I was listening to HBO in spots, and Harold Letterman's scorecard was getting wide, and they're giving him credit for stuff he's really not doing. And if he's doing it, it's not meaningful. It's just not meaningful. I just felt in those middle rounds Campbell was more effective. Was doing good things and circling around Linares when Linares came in, countering as well. They did beautiful countering, both of them. But Campbell just did a good job of staying active and keeping Linares locked up. Linares, as I said in the beginning of the video, Linares is a guy, when you throw combination punches, for whatever reason, he locks up. He just locks up. He's not as good of a counter puncher, which is weird when your volume goes up. So Campbell did his homework, did a good job of staying active, did a good job of working behind that left hand, that straight left. Did some good. He throws some wider shots, but and it's awkward. But also he throws a good straight left as well behind the right hand. Did a good job of working behind the right hand. Excuse me. What I should have said. So good work from Campbell tonight on my scorecard. He won the fight, but I have no issues with the scorecards. 3 good scorecards there. Ultimately, I felt like Linares's flash won over Campbell's substance on the scorecards, and that was a difference, as well as Linares digging deep in those 11th and 12th rounds, instinctively knowing he needed to win those rounds to edge it out on the scorecards. He knew it was a close fight, so props to Linares for doing that as well. So I like what I saw from Campbell tonight. Linares was pretty much of what I expected, pretty much what I've seen from Linares throughout the past decade. You know, Linares is a guy who looks good, but he's just inconsistent. He looks great in spots, but then disappears in spots. It's just a weird thing and doesn't belong on anybody's pound-for-pound list, although I'm sure there's people out there who are trying to put him on pound-for-pound list tonight for whatever reason, but he doesn't belong there, in my opinion. So hit me up. Let me know what y'all thought about this fight, and how'd y'all score it? How'd y'all score this fight? I wish I could see this damn chat. If people are putting anything in the chat, let me see. Let me make one last-ditch effort to try to pull up this chat. Y'all bear with me for a second. Let me see if I could get this live feed up. There's a way that D-Style showed me that I could rig it, because it's pretty much impossible to see the chat while you're doing this video. But let me see if I can get it on my phone to pull up to see the chat, to see if anybody is even putting anything in the chat. And nope, doesn't look like I can do it. So, oh well. That being said, good fight. Y'all put it in the when I finish this video, y'all put y'all's comments in the archives. I'm looking forward to seeing how people scored this fight. It seemed to me when I was on social media about 20 minutes ago that generally most of the people had Linares edging it out. I saw a few people for Campbell, like myself, and but all of them were close either way. So y'all let me know how y'all scored this and where y'all see both fighters going from here. I'm out. Peace.